Okay, first thing, please subscribe to Second Life community thing, whatever the channel name is, because the meetings will
I
be
don't
here
think
from
that's
now
the
on.
name of it
Okay,
at
I'm
all.
done.
Hot anal.
Subscribe to Keemstar.
Yeah,
the fuck up.
also subscribe
Thing,
to
whatever the
Keemstar.
channel name is, because the
Also,
meetings
in
will be
case
here
you
from
weren't
now on.
aware,
Okay, I'm done.
Tyro Gutter is now organizing Project Genesis. Just want to start off the meeting with that tidbit.
It was fun while it lasted then.
Honestly though, before we start, I want to reiterate something. Firstly, because this has seemed to come to me as a contentious issue lately, and so I wanted to restate Project Genesis's purpose, as I seem to need to do at every meeting. Project Genesis is first and foremost a communications platform with everyone in the grid having equal representation to discuss matters pertaining to growing the community as a whole, whether it be giving smaller groups resources or providing marketing help, etc. Um, and this is specifically why it's important to have all parties within the SLMC involved, because there seems to be a lot of fear about what Project Genesis could turn into. But the beauty of it is the fact that as long as you are within it and you are taking part, it can't become anything that you personally don't let it. Although, in the same vein, this group does not exist specifically as your hostage audience to watch you shit talk other specific groups or individuals. So, if that becomes an issue within this meeting, since there are people who allegedly have shit they need to do, if there starts to be screeching, if somebody's getting if somebody's shit talking and screaming, they can't be calmed down, I am going to start server muting people that this happens to, and I'm going to ask you to bring in another representative. Also, if you believe there is a specific problem having to do with a group or person which threatens the community as a whole, you can make that gamble. If you're not sure, bring it to the fray. That is what the fray is for. The fray is absolutely for open communication between all groups to say whatever the hell you want, no matter what it is. This is specifically to bring up matters pertaining to either marketing the SLMC, recruiting, free resources for everyone, and that's about it.
Fixing issues.
Beyond that, and in relation to that, firstly, I want to welcome Silverhawk back to the meeting. And I also want to introduce a new group to Project Genesis as well as the SLMC as a whole. And that is Valkyr, being run currently by Drevis and Darksider Alex.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
As you guys know, just wanted to clarify a couple of things. I am Dravis Belric. If you've been wondering for some time if I answer to anybody, I don't. I don't answer to anybody.
I fucking love you. I fucking love you.
So you're not a fucking Muppet like most groups, okay.
Oh, don't speak too soon.
If you want to post information about where your sim is located, as well as applications, if you haven't sent it to Kane to post up, I'd do that. But I'm sure people are interested in visiting your sim and seeing what you have. I would love to say that, but I know if I say that, nobody's going to be able to spell it properly.
Actually, why don't we go ahead and find a way to put that sim name on that board that we've been putting around everybody's sims?
Yeah, I was actually.
Gotta talk to Sin about that.
Yeah, is that working right now?
Yeah, I was harassing Kane about that earlier this morning. It doesn't seem to be working. It's just showing New Jesse, Raven Raiders, All Hallows, and XAF.
Power grab.
Raven Raiders is real.
The conspiracy is real.
The one on the coercion sim is working.
Yeah, and the one on our sim's working pretty fine.
Is Nicole here?
I'm here.
Obviously.
Nicole, would you mind? I think we discussed in one of the last meetings that we were going to create basically an SLMC orientation sim where people could go and I think, learn about combat and how to shoot. I think you get a free gun or it's got prim jumping courses and shooting courses. They're going to have mentors there. Preferably, we can get you in touch with mentors specifically if you want to learn how to script or build, etc. And I think Nicole currently is putting up the sim for that project, and I think she's taken initiative as far as managing it. Um, do you want to show us you made a layout, right? Do you want to show us that layout? Is it within Second Life or is it a picture or what is that?
Currently the layout itself, because of SL's fuck up the other day, kind of got eaten. But I can explain like the fundamentals and the quick. I can basically give the short and sweet story of how this sim works. I'm gonna have to redo the layouts thanks to Second Life. But basically, the fundamentals, like Syla said, is what we're gonna do when I discussed this with everybody before and a few other members and people that are actually interested in, taking part and not just taking part to watch it, but taking part to actually, make sure that this works. The idea of the sim in layman's terms is the SLMC boot camp. Basically, this is a collective with all the SLMC militaries to show outsiders how we do things. This is also to teach people like newcomers or even veterans from back in the old days. Like I'm going to be using, for instance, Kobe's Prim Jump course, which I think is a very good course. It's a combination, multiple combination of all jump courses that I've seen from multiple militaries. We're going to use that to teach people how to maneuver on SL, how to handle certain situations on different sims, how to get themselves maneuvered, and probably teach them new mobility skills without using jump enhances or dashes or anything fancy that helps you move, enhance your momentum or mobility. Also, the sim will, like I meant to say, the sim will be divided into sections. Sections where there's damage, sections where there's no damage. Obviously, sections where there's no damage for people to learn, such as tutorial areas, where people can watch videos, which I will be making with Tyro. Videos which concern movement, leading targets, how to actually fire a gun, and the 101 steps of scripting a basic gun. On the terms of weaponry, I will be giving access to free weapons from my store, which includes a standard RPG, a standard handgun, a standard assault rifle, and a standard bolt-action rifle. All which will be based off what I used to call, because I'm kind of old school when it comes to SLMC, what I call SLMC regulations, which are basically downright basic weapon styles with standard flush velocities with standard size bullets. They will have access to these weapons to use both on the SLMC itself, on all the combat sims that will be allowed, and also they can use them while training in the combat region. Other
Sorry, really quickly, just to interrupt you. If you want to be a part of this project, if you think you have things to add, whether it be content, resources, money, just fucking even advice, let me know, and I can give you a role where you can speak in this Discord about the project and give your feedback and your help. I'm sorry, finish off what you're saying.
Also, to add on to what Celia said, when it comes to the role, all discussions for like the sim itself is to be spoken and typed in the training sim chat rather than the general chat. Otherwise,
Yeah,
Dark is
otherwise
gonna get on my
it'll
case
get lost.
again, and Dark will get on my case again. Anyway, so other than the mobility course, which will be in a damage area, underneath that or above that, we'll have another section where we will teach people how to lead targets. Basically, I put together a system that me and my SL sister came up with, which is basically a moving target course. We will have static pop-up targets, which will basically be like a mini game, a shooting game. It'll be a sim-long shooting range, so they have the chance to test out their skills at leading a target at moving, at both walking speed, and running speed. And also, just for shits and giggles, I asked a friend of mine from KA Industries if she can help me implement her shooting game into the target range, where it'll actually score your progress.
I'm sorry to have to say this, but I gotta go. So I invited someone to take my place. It's both CC and Tim. Um, yeah, I'll just go ahead and recap what happens on later, but I gotta go handle some things in real life. So, yeah,
All right.
totes.
Thank you, Sam. Who is the second person?
CC. They should have
Oh,
taken the
CII space that person.
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And
They can.
as
They can
for the
jump in.
whole tutorial course thing, it sounds great. Doesn't sound like a total fucking ripoff. I look forward to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to help out in it. I sent you a message, Syla or Syla. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name.
It's okay. Everybody does.
But I sent you a message, and I'd be willing to help out
All
on the
right.
neutral grounds. I don't want to
Yeah.
represent any. It's a neutral ground, so I understand that.
Yeah. It's absolutely neutral. I've given you the role so you can speak in that channel now.
Okay.
We interrupted you.
Waiting for CC to hop in the chat before I continue.
Does CC know how?
Tim?
Here, hold up. Let me send her the invite, or does she have it?
No, she's in. She's already in. She just needs to hop into the meeting room.
Okay. Hop in the chat.
And really important. So, can we get an ETA on when this is going to be done so we know how much we need to harass you and for how long to make sure? 'Cause people love that.
Actually, a lot of that stuff is already implemented into the coercion training already, so it should, for the most part, be just click and drag from inventory and make it look shiny. So
So it should be a fairly quick process.
Basically, think of it as a standard, as a very simple baseball. Because literally, I have the resources thanks to Kobe. I have a full size jump course, which will fit nicely in the one corner. The shooting game is an easy setup system. Basically, drop the targets when need be, activate the targets to move the way they're supposed to, and implement the gaming room. Then, like Kobe said, make everything shiny. Basically, the entrance hub, I'm gonna put like a TP system where you can jump between areas such as the jump course, the gun course, the test course, and also the learning areas. I'm gonna implicate a group for that. I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name it after the Genesis group. The island itself is literally gonna take me like 24 hours to activate the sim. The sim is a homestead because I can't afford a full version because I'm already paying for a sim right now. No guarantee that I can keep paying for said sim because, as I said, I'm already paying for one already. But all help is very much appreciated. But the other important thing that I wanted to implement, and I know a lot of people will approve of me saying this, putting this area in, is a basic tutorial area, which basically it teaches people on how to script specific weapons, and not just script weapons, but how to script weapons, how to script their HUD system, and an area designated for sim building and how to build their sim correctly, how to watch their prim count, how to organize the sim in such a way that it's not overcluttered or high on resolution or the mesh is too low and it breaks from long distances. Things like that, just to give an idea, just to give a person a basic idea of, okay, if you want to start a group and you have a sim and you want to build a sim, there's people you can talk to, there's videos you can watch. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm following the style that I do with my D2, which is I make tutorial videos for D2 on how to build a D2 car, where to put the scripts in, and how to texture. I'm gonna implement that same style, but for SLMC purposes, such as building a base, scripting a gun, and also give them and inform them that they have the freedom and choice of their style. So you don't have to do it like you mustn't do it this way. You mustn't do it the coercion way. You mustn't do it the new Rome way. I give them a universal thing that they can implement into their style, so they can have their group as unique as they want it. This includes like designing armor and having different sets of texturing skills, which I'm gonna need someone to volunteer for that because I'm still learning. I'm one of Kobe's students, but I'm still learning. Another thing is there will be a video room which will be designated just a bunch of media screens, and each media screen will be for specific things, such as just like in the entrance hall, like a tutorial video on the prim jump course, a tutorial video on the weapons course, a tutorial video on how to use said weapons, and then I'm going to designate an area that's going to be an open area for each military to drop down, same like New Jersey, to drop down their little recruitment posters, where it will give them information on the group, if they want, and this is by their choice only. If they want, I can make a little tutorial video of said sim and said group. This includes their sim, their armor, their symbol, their weapon style, a little bit of lore if they want, things like that. But we're gonna work that on the later stage. And also I want to drop what what Grave did in the past, which I still use to this day, is I want to drop down a SLMC grid TPer, which is going to have landmarks of every single active SLMC, raid group, New Jersey, neutral sim that is revolves and acts around the SLMC base roles.
Really quickly on that note, I'll get to New Jersey in a second. Is Brazil still up?
No.
What happened to Brazil?
Things, but it is no longer a sim.
Okay. Don't laugh. If
Hey,
I mean, here's the thing. If any of
Fucking
you
laugh.
feel the need to, once again, New Jersey is something that we've been operating out of a lot, just because it is neutral. I know people are gonna start squealing somewhere whenever I say that, but for the most part, New Jersey is not based out of a singular army. So that's what we've been using for the most part as a hub. That does not mean that it is the hub of the SLMC. If you choose to make your own sim that is not military related and you want to call it a hub, just let us know. I mean, just call us up,
Also,
let us know, and we'll start advertising it just like we advertise New Jersey.
also
Cool.
the idea of I want to also implement this. Like, I want to get this through everyone. That the tutorial sim is a tutorial based sim. It's not a combat sim. It's basically a boot camp for the SLMC. It's a boot camp based around the rules and regulations of old school to modern day SLMC. So it's not a New Jersey. It's also a neutral, quote unquote, neutral sim. But I will be allowing like militaries to drop down their advertising boards. I'm giving them a whole section where they can drop down, say for instance, like a 5 prim build for the thing, rule sets, so on and so forth. That you're limited to do whatever you want to represent your military, as smart, stupid, classy, fancy as you want, as
Jarvis
long.
Jarvis brought up a good point, which is that boot camp produces training required for each military group, so that's a plus.
Yeah, the boot camp is also, it's not just open for newcomers. This is like, it'll be a practice area. So if you want to hop in and for like if you want to send like your own recruits to the boot camp and have it as a neutral training ground for new recruits and stuff like that, I am open to that idea because like I said, the basis is it's going to be collective of all militaries. Like if people want to come and help and support the sim and be a mentor, I am more than welcome for that, but it's not going to be under the control of any military group. Like, I am a part of coercion, yes, but this sim has nothing to do with coercion. It has nothing to do with any military. This is a thing, an entity on its own.
Completely neutral. Nicole, I
Completely
meant to
neutral.
ask, so the price of the sim, how much does it cost a week?
If you want to discuss the finite details, I mean, I added you to the thing. You can discuss that in the
Okay,
training sim channel or privately. Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah,
liking
just-
the idea. I really like this idea. It'll help out pretty much everyone here in the SLMC. It'll also reduce tensions, I should say.
Well, you can, yeah, okay, do me a favor. In the training sim chat, my fucking tongue. In the training sim chat, drop down like any questions you want, and then I'll answer them as fast as I can, as best as I can. Otherwise, you can drop me an IM via SL or via direct missions on Discord,
Okay.
and I can get
Yeah.
back to you.
Speaking of New Jesse, we have I don't know if I can thank the people who work on it, but oh hey look, Raiders here. We have forums now for everyone that everyone can use to do whatever the hell we want with. And as of right now, I think I think it is completely neutral and it's fairly unmoderated. If you want to join and participate in those forums, it's literally the easiest thing in the world. You can come to New Jesse, and right next to the door that says Kane's Cantina, there's a big sign that says to register to the Second Life Combat Forums. Sorry, click here to register to the Second Life Combat Forums. You can't miss it. It's written in Comic Sans. Rude.
I can't read Comic Sans.
Comic Sans.
I can't read.
Excuse me, I'm the one that actually chose Comic Sans, so you all can shove
the
it.
most
That was
unprofessional format in the world.
Yeah,
That's
but
why it
we all
works.
know that your house went on fire, Kobe. So
That's
yeah.
very nice
Well,
of
you
you.
know,
That's-
all minor serious brain damage, acquired from said thing. Comic Sans is a perfectly respectable font, and you will read it.
If you're a peasant, maybe.
oh,
Eat ass.
Okay, back on topic.
Yes. So yes. Forums. Come to New Jesse. Right next to Tyra is standing, jumping, squatting next to the sign. New Jesse. It's to the right of the door for Kane's Cantina. It's large. It says "Click here to join the Second Life Combat Forums." You click it. You're gonna get a little dialog box in the top right of your client that says, "What would you like to do?" And you can click register, and it's gonna give you a unique username. Well, it's gonna give you your username and password for the site. You can log in. Shit's already done. You don't have to go through crazy. You don't have to go through verification or whatever. It's just done. This makes it simple because people can't really pose as other people, or it makes it a little bit more difficult for them to pose as other people. And
What
you
if,
can talk. Go
real
on.
quick, what if somebody creates an alternate account on SL and opens it up? Is there any type of thing that tracks IP from the website in order to
No.
make sure people aren't anonymously posting Coercion's fucking armor? Like there was last time.
If you go through that much trouble to like do that kind of thing, you're just a dweeb.
Well,
Hey,
it's happened before. It's happened before. It happened with our first mesh armor set. It went on to the New Jesse War Journal forums, and someone posted anonymously.
If you're gonna be that much of a dweeby little shit about it, then like, I mean, people are gonna find out who your alt is. Like, your alts are not safe in this community.
Yeah.
I've got 5 of them in your group, dude. Like,
Who's the man in the high castle?
Back on the topic.
I know who High
Let's
Castle
get
is.
back on topic.
That's an Amazon TV show. Excuse me.
you're
So
an
yeah, we're
Amazon
gonna
TV.
work on that. We're gonna have, hopefully we're gonna have a moderation team to the forum similar that we have to the Project Genesis Discord. Speaking of, if you're curious as to becoming a moderator in Project Genesis Discord, it's super simple. You can be attached to a group. You just have to consistently remain neutral, remain reasonable, and when conflict arises, de-escalate. You do that, and I'm more than happy to give you rights to moderate. And I think moderation for the forums is going to be fairly similar. We're going to try to keep on that, so shit like open sourcing doesn't happen, or at the very least we can address it quickly. Because I mean, to be honest, I hate to say, if somebody wants to open source your shit, they can do it on the SLMN, they can do it on the Fray, and while we don't want to be one of those things, it's very difficult, as we've seen, to just stop it altogether. Speaking of, we discussed last time there was an issue with people coming into Sims and copybotting. This also goes along with an issue that has arisen lately with people coming into Sims and black screening and crashing the Sims just for the sake of crashing the Sims. There was people have said, well, you know, you can not mute, you can ban the person who's doing it, but then they're going to create alts and just keep coming back in. On that note, we have, I think Phoenix created a script, which, if I'm correct, you can put in the however many days old you want the account to be before they can enter your sim. You can put this in an object, you can put it in your spawn, you can put it in your sim, and it will block people under a certain age from getting into your sim.
Well, the problem with those alts, which it was Band-Aids, we got a video recording. It was Band-Aids. But the problem with that is there's people like Band-Aids who have alternate accounts that are like 8 years old and like by the dozens.
Here's the thing. Here's the best part about that. If a person has an account that's 8 years old by the dozens, and I happen to know a little bit about that, they only have so many. Does that mean you might have to put 20 accounts on your ban list? Maybe, but then it's over and you don't have to worry about it again. And while I know that's not ideal, that is better than just letting them, you know, run free.
Right. It is a real problem in the SLMC that I've noticed. A lot of griefing and black screening. That needs to stop.
Well, I mean, also, if rain drops, where lemon drops.
Yeah, true.
I'm going to release that script.
You can pass it on to me and CC. I'll pass it on to Sam, I guess.
Well, I'm going to release it in Project Genesis, so everybody who is in Project Genesis can have it, because I don't see an issue, you know, with everybody having that. I feel like that's something everybody should have.
Right. Alright, on that note, I must depart. It is time for me to go to work. Pleasure meeting you all here.
Alright, thank you. So we talked about the forums, talked about the account blocker, talked about the training, the new training sim. Welcome back, Silverhawk. Welcome back, Valkyr. I think that's all for me. I don't think I'm missing anything.
Thank you for leading a productive meeting.
Didn't you want to talk about the thing that you said you wanted to talk about to me and I laughed at?
What thing? Oh, if anybody has questions about the High Castle vid, number one, it's entirely true. Every last bit of it. Everything is secretly a coercion.
The fuck is High Castle?
If you haven't gotten the video.
Should we discuss the High Castle video?
No.
I don't want to discuss the High Castle
be in the
video because people are going to be screaming and reeing. And I don't want to personally propagate that in Project Genesis, although it's all over the Fray and it's all over the SLMN. And I know Dark Sleeper's listening right now. If you want to repost that video, feel free.
I'll repost it right to Genesis and the stream. How about that?
I brought it up honestly because it makes me seem so much cooler than I really am, and I just want people to watch it.
You just want.
I'll link it right now.
To notice you.
Thanks.
Submit it.
Do you want me to link it? Do you want me to link it? I'll do it.
Not in Project Genesis. Feel free to link it in the Freyr SLMN.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna agree with Valix Rosie there. If it's such a hot issue for some folks, my question would be, why would you bring attention to it? If the plebeian masses are going to bring it up, that's fine. But if you're a person who is personally upset by it or you have an issue with it, I would think that you would deter yourself and other people who know about it from bringing it up. This is just my first input here.
I will say this. I am personally not offended by it in the least. I think it's really interesting. And if I'm going to be completely honest with everyone here, this kind of spoopy, scary shit that people want to post where they're saying there are giant conspiracies where coercion and chaos are working together to try to take over the New Jesse or whatever it is, or
Those
Project.
chaos is gonna work with fur fags.
Well, you're
What?
not going to take over New Jesse when you can only get 20 people into the sim, so.
Yeah.
I just want to know why everyone thinks it's Wyatt. Why is everyone accusing Wyatt?
Nobody thinks it's Wyatt. Wyatt's all right. Hang on. Knowing Wyatt for 4 years, the only person who has ever edited our videos was Murai. Wyatt is not capable of editing videos to that magnitude. Plus, we know.
It wasn't a very well-made video, though, and he did express interest to me in editing videos at one point. I think. I don't remember.
I think the video was really
beautiful.
well put together. It was actually very well put together. It was timed with the music.
No, it wasn't. Okay, no. I'm going to say this on the record.
I want to finish on this note because we do need to end, and I want the stream to end so people aren't held hostage listening to people screaming. But I was going to say the reason I find it interesting personally, honestly, is because shit like this, while some people may find it spooky and scary and it makes them nervous, A/B testing shows that it boosts activity in the SLMC. People are interested, people are talking, people are all about it. And while I've said this once before, while I want there to be communication between groups as far as spreading resources from larger groups to smaller groups, I absolutely want the groups to hate each other as much as they possibly can.
God, I hate you so
most groups do, and it's great because that's
Fuck
how
you,
the
Coercion,
SLMC,
you piece of shit.
that's how the SLMC thrives. And if people want to make giant conspiracy videos about how like the underlying Illuminati of the SLMC, I'm all for that. All for it. I think there's currently a response video underway.
Can I talk about how triggered I am?
Illuminati is confirmed.
But yeah, is there anything else? Is there any other things that people wanted to bring up during the meeting?
I don't have anything. Sorry.
I need to argue with
On
Kobe.
the subject of you wanting all the groups to hate each other. Hey, Kobe, fuck you.
Oh God, you got me. Shit.
I was
Brothers, they
wondering
hate.
if you guys could help me with something. I've got a petition up for a Scottish independence referendum too. I was wondering if you guys could sign it.
I do have something that's mildly related to Project Genesis. First time in here. Hi, Commissar Kyrus, the famous one.
Oh my God, you're a fucking loser. Get on with it.
I know. Thus far, I haven't seen any evidence whatsoever saying that this isn't exactly what the Mercsketeers and more so Lurden tried doing to unite the SLMC under one specific rule set.
Well, we literally just got done, telling people to hate each other. So, there's that.
Let him talk.
It's
finish up.
It didn't work out, and it ended with the death of the Mercs. And as much as I would love to see some of the other shit-tard militaries here die off in the flames of war, I don't know why you would want to propagate the death of a group by trying to combine everybody together under the banner of hatred.
I think you might have missed the beginning of the meeting. So
I heard what you said. I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, but at this point, no evidence has been brought forth to me. So I'm aggressively speculative as to what the actual end goal of this is.
To keep everybody informed on the current events.
Then we have the Fray for that, or SLMC News.
Well, the Fray doesn't always, the Fray's, seriously biased as to whoever's posting.
I want to pose a question.
Nobody really posts in the, nobody really posts in the SLMN, about, shit. And the Fray is there for a reason. The Fray does have its place in SL. It is to shitpost and post freely, whatever the hell you please.
I want to
And-
pose a question really quickly. Sorry to cut you off, Syla.
I don't know. I only heard the first part of what you said before my shit crashed. But I was just going to tell you, first and foremost, if you do not believe in Project Genesis at all, and you don't want to be involved, we're sorry. And we do want everybody involved because, as I said before, having every single group be able to speak keeps the group from becoming anything somebody else doesn't want. That said, everything here is completely voluntary, including and not limited to the actions that groups want to take against other groups or other members. If you choose to not participate, I completely respect that decision.
I have a few questions about participation that I've been given to me to ask more so. What qualifies you for participation? Because I've been asked basically why can't the Akatal Pack have representatives, and my group that's starting up right now, or Proteus's group, but also needs a second representatives, but there is only 5 or 6 other people, and there's only one other leader, which is Proteus himself. Does he qualify for representation? What disqualifies someone for representation?
Okay, so it's super simple. I think I spoke to Darksleeper earlier about the I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the Equal Pact. And my thing with that is it's not a military. And I understand it's a union of militaries, and if the different militaries want to speak and say things that they believe should happen, or if I don't want there to be more representation for people who were already represented, if that makes any sense. That's as far as the Equal Pact. That, and specifically being a group that other groups are involved in, not being a combat community, it's just as easy that the Ganja Man could have representation, and that's where it just gets too convoluted. As far as the military being involved in general, I think what we did with Valkyr works, which is just if you have a base that you're opening up, you have a charter, and you have people, I think that qualifies you. Because once again, we came up with this problem earlier where people are saying, well, people came to me and said, all right, I made the Dick Man group and we are the Dick Men. And they don't, if they haven't participated in combat, if it doesn't have a sim, if it doesn't have members, it's very hard for me to just
Wow.
What?
The fuck was that?
Yeah, if we could just get
Good
more of
morning.
this down.
What you all just witnessed was the finest example of the Kobe's signature coercion power grab.
Okay.
We just beamed Syla to a spaceship.
Yeah, I'm really confused. I missed what? It's like a fucking robot or something. What just happened?
Kobe, initiate the coercion power play.
Well, she was getting a phone call.
Hold on.
Look at us. All right, grab the power with me, Ron. Power grabbing, power grabbing, power grabbing, power grabbing.
All right.
Calm down before you start a fire there, Kobe.
All right. Wait a second. Did anybody get any of that?
I missed the last
3
one.
seconds.
No,
the last 3 seconds.
you got cut off by a phone vibrating.
Okay. Yeah, basically with Alcohol Pact, it's similar to having just random militaries. I don't want to give anybody more representation than they already have just because they created a name.
What defines
so
us
if
having,
you
a sim, we have a parcel at okay, so Rudinia doesn't necessarily have a sim, they're on PSC's sim. Alliance Navy doesn't necessarily have a sim, they have a parcel which doesn't have damage on, so do we qualify under those standards as well? We have both those things.
Well, it's not just that. Number one, Rodinia and Alliance Navy are kind of grandfathered in because they were a part of the original Project Genesis, and I know that's not a good excuse, but that's the real reason that they're still here. The second thing is, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. You were talking about the parcel, correct?
Yeah. We by all standards technically have land.
Something else is if you have people within your group that are doing combat by themselves. If you are not within any other groups and you are doing combat and you do have land, then actually absolutely you should have representation.
Okay.
I think is probably the point you're trying to make is that you are currently active within combat in the SLMC.
Yeah, I feel like we are. We're getting a lot of stuff made at the moment. Suffer's working on things, I believe.
I mean, yeah, I literally never heard of the Space Wizards before
The
5
Federation of
minutes.
Space
Yeah,
Wizards.
before 5 minutes before this meeting. So if you want to talk to me about that and we can discuss it, and I mean, I'm more than happy to give you representation for the.
That's
the
fine.
next
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah. I was just curious.
And one last thing, really, really, really important. Preferably, in order to Boo's here.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it
Spec-
was good.
No, that's fine. I want to ask everybody real quick while you're still here. Is it all right if next week, does it work for everybody if we have this meeting next week on Saturday at 3 p.m. SLT? Does anybody have any?
Well, on account of it being the day after Paddy's Day and, being Irish and all,
Oh no.
speaks for itself there.
Okay,
But
so
I'm talking about on a regular basis, like Saturdays at 3 p.m. SLT. Does that cause issue for anyone other than Kobe and his class?
Not with me.
I'm good.
That's fine.
I'm good.
If I have those days off, I don't care.
Can you make it? Can you make it at 4 p.m. SLT? Because also for the same reason as Bambinator.
I'm iffy on making it any later because that makes it difficult for our European people to join because they're going to be this right now. It's already what it's 11 for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're asking it to be that time so that it is later.
Oh, you want it to be later. You want it to be midnight.
Yeah.
Because like for Bambi and for Kenny, I'm also on European time, except I'm an hour ahead of them, actually 2. If it's later at night, then less is going on around me, and like the house is kind of dead, so I have an opportunity to sit down.
I would absolutely love it if everybody could make it, bar nothing. Kobe, when is your class end, or is it for the rest of the night?
It's okay. It's from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day.
So we can't help you. We can't. You're just fucked. Well, shit.
Metaphorically and literally on a regular basis, but that's beside the point.
What if we?
Not as much as you think.
What if?
Back to Grinder, you fucking queer.
So if we made it, so what? All right. What about moving it an hour back for the European people? Would that work? An hour back on Sunday. So 4 p.m. SLT on Sundays. Does that work for everyone here? Croc.
What happened to 12 SLT? 12 SLT was good.
12 SLT on Sundays is the perfect time.
To be honest, to be honest, that's good because right now it's according to my watch, it's 4 p.m. SLT, and on my local clock that I'm looking next to me, it is 5 minutes before 1 a.m. in the morning.
See, the thing about that is that Aroke won't be able to make it because he's busy on Sundays.
Yeah,
so
he is. Aroke can't make it on Sundays. Kobe can't make it on Saturdays. Which is just pain in the
I
fucking
mean,
ass.
I could, but I would be talking in the middle of lab.
Again, you're going to try and make something to suit the greater majority. If some individuals can't make it, then I suppose you can nominate a
Saturdays
temporary
are my
representative.
hardest day. I think Saturdays are most people's hardest day to make.
So I'm gonna say right now that we're gonna continue doing it at 3 p.m. SLT. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say 12 p.m. because I used to get shit from people that 12 p.m. was too early and they had too much going on. So I'm gonna keep it at 3 p.m. SLT on Sundays next week. If you have issues, I think I'm gonna create a channel within the forum where you can discuss, the best times and the worst times for everything. So
I have another question from Dark Sleeper.
Free to join the forums. Go for it.
He's asking if New Jersey can have representation. They aren't a military group. Why can the Fray also not have representation?
New Jersey has representation because New Jersey has a sim. New
Okay,
Jersey has a hub. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fair enough.
now Dark is going to buy a
down
sim.
like a
Don't start. Don't start. I don't want it to start. 'cause I
Dark
don't
is
wanna
going to buy a
handle it.
sim now.
I'm fine with that. I am fine with more sims in the SLMC. I hope he hears me right now. Buy a fucking sim.
Combat Continent 2017.
Man, this is like mildly reminiscent of like American history.
All right, guys, can we wrap this up? Cause I've got to jerk off. So like,
He's got better shit to do.
I've got
He's
shit
got
to do.
better shit to do. I don't think we have anything else. So Tyra, if you wanna kick the stream, I think we're good.
Does it involve shit on your chest?
Everyone, listen to me. Free Syla. You all saw what I said in the chat without submitting.
Shia LaBeouf.
Okay,
I didn't see it.
this meeting.
Thank you.
Crap, how do
thank
I
you
end the
everyone
stream?
for coming here. It's been great.